Okay, y'all. Everybody is in a uproar right now today. So let's talk about why they're in that uproar. I've seen a lot of people talking about Trump trying to be president for a third term. Now, there was a time that Trump has actually hinted at this several times. In 2020, he did.
And 52 days from now, we're going to win Nevada. And we're going to win 4 more years in the White House. And then after that, we'll negotiate, right? Because we're probably, based on the way we were treated, we're probably entitled to another 4 after that.
As you know, that it is against the Constitution for a president to be in the White House more than 2 terms, okay? And so when this was, said, of course, at a meeting in the Congress, this was the reply that was put out there.
As Attorney General, if confirmed, who would be your client?
My oath would be to support and defend the Constitution of the United States of America. The people of America would be my client. And it is also my job to advise the president. My client are the people of America.
A simple question of constitutional interpretation. Is President-elect Trump eligible to run for another term as president in 2028?
No, Senator, not unless they change the Constitution.
Thank you.
Now, we have a congressman from Tennessee who is a Republican. His name is Andy Ogles, and Andy has actually tried to propose this.
Tennessee Republican Congressman Andy Ogles has introduced a House resolution to allow president to be elected to a third term. The resolution would require the amending of the 22nd Amendment of the Constitution. In a statement, Ogles said the amendment would, quote, allow President Trump to serve 3 terms, ensuring that we can sustain the bold leadership our nation so desperately needs. The proposal will now go to a House committee.
Let's talk a little bit about everybody being upset and being in this uproar saying, see, we told you that Project 2025 was in full effect. Trump is going to be a dictator and he is going to try and become the president and not ever leave or give anybody the chance to be a president again. Now, I'd like everybody to bring it down and let's actually find some balance in this conversation, okay? Now, there is efforts, and I won't even say efforts yet because nothing has come about. It's just been something that has been spoken on, right? A motion that was put on the floor, which of course you have to go further and go through the Supreme Court. So yes, has it been mentioned for him to serve more than his 2 terms because this is his 2nd term? Yes, that conversation has now come up. In a more official way other than him just making a joke across the podium, right? But he is not trying to be a dictatorship in the sense that he wants to stay the president of the United States forever and never let you, elect somebody else. Now, there is a very slim chance that this will probably happen, you guys. But let's be just clear and find some balance in what is actually being said here, okay? There's no reason for everybody to run off and start spreading propaganda and losing your damn mind, okay? First of all, the congressman who has approached this and kind of put it on the floor, the way that he said that it should work is that a president that has served 2 consecutive terms, right, like Obama did, that you would not be eligible for a 3rd term. But if you were like Trump, he was elected at one time and then he wasn't the president the 2nd time and then he became the president now. He's saying that the reason for this is that a president is not going to have enough time to enact some of the things that they've put out there. Now, whether you like it or not, let's just talk about the facts of this for a moment. Okay, there is a lot that Trump is implementing, or any president may, but I have continued to bring up to you guys that if you love what Trump is doing or whether you hate what Trump is doing, there's only 4 years of this, right? And so as soon as Trump is out of the White House, guess what happens? The next administration comes in, and just like he signed all of these executive orders to do away with what the last administration has done, that next president has the opportunity to do the same thing. So if you love Trump, enjoy it while it's here. And if you hate Trump, it's okay, because in a short amount of time, guess what? There's somebody else that's going to be in the White House and they will get to undo everything that he has done. So the argument is that with all of the things that he's doing as president, and this is the argument from the congressman, okay, is that he will not have long enough with 4 years to actually enact and find some progress in the things he's trying to do. For example, he wants to bring manufacturing back to America and build that up. I will be honest with you that 4 years is probably not long enough to get that industry going and have it set up and have it so much going in America that it's actually thriving. 4 years is probably not enough for those things to be enacted. So again, it's not about whether you agree with Trump's policies or executive orders or any of that stuff. This is simply about the fact that a lot of the stuff that he wants to implement, he probably will not have enough time to implement it to where it's so solid that it will be very easy to undo when the next president comes in. With that being said, let's understand that, again, the Constitution is going to have to be changed. So that means this has to go to the Supreme Court, and they would have to overturn what has always been in the Constitution about the checks and balances and the guidelines of being a president in this country. Also know that if this does take place, which it's probably a very slim chance that it will, but if it does, this is not something that will just affect Trump. This will actually be for all presidents that come in after this, because what they're literally going to have to do is change the way that presidents are in the White House and how their terms go and how long that they can be president. So if it does take effect, right, this will be something that all presidents from this point forward can then do, okay? If this does happen, and if Trump was to serve a third term, he'd be done after that. So again, let's find balance in the conversation. Let's not go too far to the right or too far to the left. Let's come right here in the middle and say what it is, okay? He is implying that he would like to have a third term. It is no surprise that this is a Republican congressman who is, motioning this on the floor. But at the same time, it is not so far as you guys are saying that this is like a dictatorship and that this is something that only Trump is going to benefit from, or that he's trying to, now that he's the president, like never let there be another president again, okay? So let's talk about the facts and just sit right where the truth is. So that's what's going on, you guys. Again, neither here nor there. I don't even think this will take place. If it does, it'll be interesting. I told y'all, like, the next 4 years is finna. I should have some popcorn while I was doing this video because it is a lot going on and it's going to be very interesting. That is the word I choose. I'm not over here crying about nothing. I'm not upset about anything. Like, at the end of the day, it is what it is. But it is going to be a very interesting 4 years. So I suggest that you don't go on this emotional roller coaster. Like, just observe what's going on. If it is something that actually does affect your life, because I'm not going to say some of these things won't affect your life. I mean, do the best to deal with them. Some of these things may affect your life in a negative way. It might affect it in a positive way. I mean, if you watch it and you an immigrant, like, this is really fucking up your life right now. You're in America. So it just depends on who you are, right? So with that said, you guys, calm down a little bit. It's going to be all right, okay? And I'll see you on the next live or the next video.